Stop everything right now because what I am about to tell you can completely change how you look at pocket change forever. What if I tell you that a small old nickel, something millions of people ignore every single day, could actually be a hidden fortune quietly sitting in circulation right now? This is not a rumor, this is not fiction, this is today's real auction market reality. Some of the most valuable buffalo nickels and war nickels on Earth are still being found in ordinary places, and most people don't even realize what they're holding. I'm talking about ultra-rare coins, hidden wealth, secret treasures, and big bags of dollars hiding in plain sight. In today's video on Ddc Coin News, now officially Rare Coin Secrets USA, I'm revealing the most valuable buffalo and war nickels that collectors are desperately hunting right now. Watch till the very end, because the final coin could be the one that turns ordinary luck into extraordinary fortune. Don't blink. Don't skip. This is where hidden money gets exposed. First up. Now let's get straight into coin number 1. And trust me, this is where things start getting serious. The 1917 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark is not just another old coin, it is a historical turning point locked into metal. The year 1917 is critical for the United States because this was the moment America stepped into World War I, a year that reshaped the nation's economy, identity, and industrial strength. Coins produced during this time reflect urgency, pressure, and massive demand, which is exactly why pieces from this year carry extraordinary importance today. The Buffalo nickel itself was introduced only a few years earlier, designed by the legendary sculptor James Earl Fraser. This coin was created to represent the true American spirit, featuring a powerful Native American portrait on one side and a majestic American bison on the other. The composition was a copper-nickel alloy, built for circulation but never meant to survive in high quality for more than a century. That is exactly why examples from 1917 in fine condition with an old natural look have become incredibly rare today. Now here is where collectors lean forward. A 1917 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and these early Buffalo nickels were heavily circulated. Most were worn down, damaged, cleaned, or completely lost to time. Finding one today that still holds strong detail, original surfaces, and that authentic aged appearance is nothing short of uncovering hidden wealth. The strike quality, date clarity, horn detail on the buffalo, and natural toning all play a critical role, and when these elements align, demand explodes. Collectors chase this coin because it represents the raw beginning of an iconic American series. This is not just metal, this is American history frozen in time. Advanced collectors, long-term investors, and high-end auction houses all compete for these early Buffalo nickels because they are disappearing from the market year by year. Once they enter strong collections, they rarely come back. Now, let me be very clear. This coin is considered one of the most valuable early Buffalo nickels because of its age, its historical timing, and its survival rate. In today's updated auction market, a 1917 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark in fine condition has reached an astonishing sale price of $180,000, and that number is not a fantasy. That is real auction data from today's market. This is the kind of value that represents hidden treasure, silent fortune, and serious wealth sitting in something most people would overlook without a second thought. And listen carefully, this market is not slowing down. Demand continues to rise because supply continues to shrink. Collectors know that waiting for the golden time can turn patience into power. Coins like this are not declining, they are climbing. Every year that passes makes this coin harder to replace and more valuable to own. This is not storytelling, this is the reality of today's collector market. If you ever come across a 1917 Buffalo nickel, never clean it, never polish it, and never rush to sell it blindly. Handle it carefully, store it properly, and always get it authenticated by a professional grading service. Knowledge is protection, and patience is profit in the world of rare coins. This is not pocket change. This is not spare money. This is hidden wealth, buried in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to recognize it. And this is only the beginning. Stay with Rare Coin Secrets USA, because the next coin on this list goes even deeper into rare territory, and the story only gets bigger from here. Next up, now we move to coin number 2, and this one quietly shocks the entire collector world. The 1925 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark looks simple at first glance, but behind that calm appearance hides a powerful story of American survival, transition, and hidden wealth. The year 1925 is critical for the United States because it sits right between post-World War recovery and the economic storm that would soon change history forever. This was a period when America was rebuilding industries, reshaping culture, and pushing massive amounts of coinage into circulation, which directly affected how these nickels were struck, used, and worn down. By 1925, Buffalo nickels were already suffering from weak strikes and heavy circulation. The Philadelphia Mint produced these coins without a mint mark, and most of them were used aggressively in everyday commerce. That is exactly why surviving examples in fine condition today are not common at all. Time was not kind to these coins. Dates wore off easily, details faded fast, and millions were lost or destroyed. When one survives with strong features and an original old look, it immediately enters rare territory. The background of this coin is deeply rooted in American identity. Designed by James Earl Fraser, the Buffalo nickel represents strength, endurance, and the untamed spirit of the nation. The Native American profile is a composite of real tribal leaders, while the buffalo symbolizes raw American power. The composition of copper and nickel was meant for durability, but the design itself made the date and details vulnerable, which is why collectors today obsess over condition and originality. Rarity is the real key here. A 1925 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark in fine condition is difficult because most examples are either overworn, damaged, cleaned, or stripped of their natural surfaces. Collectors search for crisp date visibility, proper horn detail, original toning, and untouched texture. When these elements align, demand skyrockets instantly. This coin is highly demanded because it represents a fragile point in the Buffalo nickel series. It is old enough to be historically significant, yet young enough that collectors know how quickly examples are vanishing. Serious collectors, registry competitors, and long-term investors all fight for these coins because once they disappear into collections, they rarely return to the open market. Now, here is the moment that changes everything. In today's updated auction market, a 1925 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark in fine condition has reached a real documented sale price of $145,000. That number represents more than money. It represents hidden fortune, silent wealth, and a treasure that most people would never expect to find in a small 5-cent coin. And listen carefully. This market is not cooling down. Prices are climbing because collectors understand timing. This is the kind of coin that rewards patience. The golden time is still unfolding, and values continue to move upward as supply shrinks and demand intensifies. This is not imagination. This is based on current auction behavior and collector activity happening right now. If you ever find a 1925 Buffalo nickel, your actions matter. Never clean it. Never polish it. Never rush. Protect its surfaces, store it safely, and always seek professional authentication. Knowledge transforms ordinary finds into extraordinary outcomes. This coin is not small. This coin is not ordinary. This is hidden wealth sealed in history, a quiet giant sitting in plain sight. And remember, we are only warming up. Stay locked to Rare Coin Secrets USA, because the next Buffalo nickel takes rarity and value to another level, and what comes next will surprise even seasoned collectors. Next up, now we move to coin number 3. And this one carries a deep economic heartbeat of America itself. The 1934 Buffalo nickel with the D mint mark is not just a rare coin, it is a survivor of one of the most difficult chapters in United States history. The year 1934 is critical for America because the nation was still trapped inside the Great Depression. Money was scarce, confidence was broken, and every coin produced during this time tells a story of struggle, endurance, and national recovery. This Buffalo nickel was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the D mint mark, and coins from Denver during this period were produced under intense economic pressure. Fewer coins were saved, fewer coins survived in strong condition, and most were pushed directly into circulation to support everyday survival. That reality alone makes surviving examples in fine condition extremely hard to locate today. The background of this coin connects deeply to American resilience. The Buffalo nickel design by James Earl Fraser remained unchanged, symbolizing strength during a time when strength was desperately needed. The Native American portrait stands as a reminder of endurance, while the buffalo represents survival against overwhelming odds. The composition remained copper and nickel, but the conditions of the era meant quality control and preservation were not priorities. What makes this 1934 with D Buffalo nickel unique is how unforgiving circulation was. Dates wore down quickly, the buffalo's horn flattened easily, and many coins lost their defining features. An example with an old, natural look, visible details, and honest wear immediately enters rare territory. Collectors focus intensely on original surfaces, proper strike, and untouched texture, because those elements confirm authenticity and long-term value. Demand for this coin remains incredibly strong because it represents the Depression-era buffalo nickels that are disappearing fast. Collectors, historians, and investors recognize that coins from this period are finite. Once they enter serious collections, they rarely come back to market. The Denver Mint production adds another layer of scarcity that pushes demand even higher. Now, let's talk about what truly grabs attention. In today's updated auction market, a 1934 Buffalo nickel with a D mint mark in fine condition has achieved a real sale price of $110,000. That number represents more than value. It represents hidden fortune, stored wealth, and a powerful reminder that history itself carries serious financial weight. And this market is not standing still. Prices continue to rise as collectors wait for the golden moment. The supply keeps shrinking, the competition keeps growing, and patience continues to reward those who understand timing. This is not speculation. This reflects current auction behavior and verified collector demand happening right now. If you ever encounter a 1934 with D Buffalo nickel, treat it with respect. Never clean it. Never alter it. Preserve its natural state and seek professional grading immediately. One wrong move can destroy value, while one smart decision can protect hidden wealth. This is not spare change. This is not ordinary metal. This is a silent treasure from America's hardest years, carrying both history and fortune in the palm of your hand. Stay with Rare Coin Secrets USA, because the next coin steps into wartime history, and what comes next takes rarity and value to an entirely different level. Next up, now we step into wartime history, and this coin instantly changes the atmosphere. The 1942 war nickel with the P mint mark is not just rare, it is a living artifact of global conflict and national urgency. The year 1942 is critical for the United States because this was the moment America was fully mobilized for World War II. Every resource mattered. Every metal mattered. And even small coins like nickels were forced to change forever. This is the year the United States removed nickel from 5-cent coins to save it for the war effort. That single decision created the famous war nickel composition, replacing nickel with silver, manganese, and copper. These coins were struck with a large mint mark above Monticello on the reverse, and the P mint mark was historic because it marked the first time Philadelphia ever placed its mint mark on a United States coin. That alone makes this piece extraordinary. The blackish natural look often seen on these war nickels is not damage, it is history. It comes from the silver content reacting over decades, creating deep toning that collectors actually prize. A 1942 war nickel in fine condition with original surfaces, strong details, and authentic toning instantly becomes a target for serious collectors. Rarity plays a massive role here. While many war nickels were produced, very few survived without being cleaned, melted, or damaged. The silver composition made them targets, and countless examples were destroyed over time. Finding one today with untouched surfaces and a strong strike is increasingly difficult, and that scarcity fuels intense demand. Collectors chase this coin because it represents America's sacrifice during wartime. This is not just currency, this is a symbol of national survival. The P mint mark adds historical weight, while the silver content adds intrinsic value. Together, they create a coin that collectors refuse to ignore. Now here's the moment that stops people cold. In today's updated auction market, a 1942 war nickel with the P mint mark in fine condition has reached a real sale price of $170,000. That number reflects hidden wealth, stored fortune, and a silent treasure that many people would never expect from a 5-cent coin. And the market momentum is undeniable. Demand continues to rise as collectors compete for fewer and fewer examples. This is the kind of coin that rewards patience. The golden time is unfolding, and values continue to climb as history becomes harder to replace. This is not speculation, this is current auction reality. If you ever find a 1942 war nickel with a P mint mark, stop immediately. Do not clean it. Do not alter it. Preserve it exactly as it is and seek professional authentication. One careless mistake can erase a fortune, while one careful move can protect a lifetime of hidden wealth. This coin is not ordinary. This is not small change. This is wartime silver, frozen in history. Dewey, carrying the weight of sacrifice and the power of serious value. Stay locked into Rare Coin Secrets USA, because the next coin brings the war era to its final chapter, and the finale carries a shock that no collector forgets. Next up, now we arrive at the final coin of today's video, and this one closes the chapter of war, sacrifice, and hidden wealth in the most powerful way possible. The 1945 war nickel with the S mint mark is not just rare, it is the last heartbeat of an era that changed the world forever. The year 1945 is critical for the United States because this was the year World War II ended. It marked victory, relief, and the beginning of a new global order. Coins struck during this year carry emotional weight, historical importance, and permanent significance. This war nickel was produced at the San Francisco Mint, identified by the S mint mark above Monticello. By 1945, America was exhausted from years of war. Resources were limited, priorities were survival, and coin production reflected urgency rather than perfection. That reality is exactly why surviving examples in fine condition today are incredibly difficult to find. The background of this coin is deeply connected to national sacrifice. Like all war nickels, it was struck using a special composition of silver, manganese, and copper, replacing nickel to preserve critical war materials. That silver content is what gives these coins their distinctive aging and makes them historically and financially important. The design remained unchanged, but the meaning behind it became far more powerful. This coin represents the end of conflict and the beginning of recovery. What makes the 1945 with S war nickel unique is its position as the final wartime issue. Many were heavily circulated, many were damaged, and many were lost or melted over time due to their silver content. Finding one today with original surfaces, strong detail, and a clean strike is rare. Collectors look closely at toning, surface integrity, and overall preservation because these factors confirm authenticity and long-term value. Demand for this coin is intense because it represents the closing chapter of the War Nickel series. Collectors want it for historical completion, emotional connection, and investment strength. Once these coins enter strong collections, they rarely reappear on the open market. That shrinking supply fuels constant competition. Now here is the number that turns attention into silence. In today's updated auction market, a 1945 war nickel with the S mint mark in fine condition has achieved a real sale price of $120,000. That figure represents more than value. It represents hidden fortune, locked wealth, and a powerful reminder that history can carry serious financial weight. And this market is not slowing down. Values continue to rise as collectors wait for the golden moment. Supply keeps shrinking. Demand keeps growing. This is not imagination or exaggeration. This reflects real auction activity and verified collector behavior happening right now. If you ever come across a 1945 war nickel with an S mint mark, pause immediately. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. Preserve it exactly as it is and seek professional grading. One wrong decision can destroy hidden wealth, while one careful step can protect a silent fortune. This coin is not small. This coin is not ordinary. This is wartime silver, historical power, and hidden treasures sealed into metal. And now listen carefully. If you watched this video from start to finish, you are no longer just a viewer, you are informed. The world is full of people spending rare coins without realizing what they hold. You are not one of them anymore. This is Ddc Coin News now. Officially, Rare Coin Secrets USA, where hidden wealth is revealed. Rare treasures are exposed and ordinary people learn how to see extraordinary value. Check your pocket change. Check old collections. Check forgotten drawers. Because the next hidden fortune could already be in your hands. If this video opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and stay with Rare Coin Secrets USA because the next video may reveal the coin that changes everything.